Time to go, Johnny. Hi, I'm Stevenson, John Howell's best friend and producer. Winnie and John go way back. Even in his fame, when everyone knew his name, he was still Little Johnny to me. Well, you know what they say, the first one's always big. The self-titled John Howell album was a critical financial success, and everyone that came after it just got better, bigger and better. He was an old-fashioned rock star. He really knew his place.
His place? Place in what?
Oh, you know, the universe. Musicians are weird.
You talked about his success. What about close at the end? What happened then?
Well, you know, the air is human. Closer to the end, when he was looking retirement in the face, he was bored with music. He wanted to try something new. That's when one of his artsy friends gave it to him.
Hey, John. I know what's going through your head right now, and I got the answer for you right here.
I can't keep it out of my head, man. I keep reading it over and over again. Pope's clearly a genius. I mean, Dylan's a genius, but Pope puts Dylan to shame, man. He's on a whole different level. Here, look at this. Oh, here, I'll read it to you. Know then thyself, presume not God to scan, the proper study of mankind is man. Whoa, Pope gets it, man. At least what I can get from it is that he's saying that we have to know ourselves, and we can't look for the big man upstairs for answers. And the second line, the one about mankind, man, it's about how to find the purpose of mankind, first I must find the purpose of myself. You must find the purpose of just one, man. At least, I think, I'll have to do it further, I'll have to dissect it further.
I'd like to thank you for interviewing me, mate. Most people forget about the drummers.
No problem. The first thing I'll ask you is about Howell, near the end of his career.
Yeah, all great stories must come to an end, right? But this one's a doozy.
How so?
Well, he asked me to come into the studio earlier than usual, right? I thought he wanted me to work on some tracks with him. You know, maybe jam out a bit. I usually have some suggestions for his songs. He gets me to read them over.
Why did he ask you to come in early that day?
He wanted me to talk about this, what do you call it, pilgrimage? Oh, good to see you here, mate. I wanted to talk to you about track 8. It's sort of nonsense, mate.
Yeah, I know, but that's not why I'm here.
Why are you here?
Here, take a little of that, man.
Alexander Pope, is he one of those punk rock guys?
He's a poet. This is his masterpiece. I want to give it to the band. I want to get your own interpretations, and I thought I'd give it to you first.
Mate, you want us to give us our own interpretations of this? It's gibberish.
It's not gibberish, it's art. Look at in doubt to deem himself a god or beast is alone better than anything you and I have ever written.
At least you can comprehend my lyrics, mate.
That's saying that humans, we're caught somewhere between beast and god. We're a middle state. It's art, man. You get it?
You want me to give my own interpretation?
I don't get what's so hard to understand about that. I gave you one. Get it done.
Can I just ask you why you want us to do this?
Call it my pilgrimage on man.
That's where you start to go, I think. Not completely gone, but the signs were there. It's a shame, really. Great talent like that.
This whole essay on man thing really caught John's attention. It was big ideas at first, and it was nice. I thought maybe he'd be inspired to write some new hits.
And was he?
Well, not exactly. But from what I hear, he had Dylan at his house almost every single day. They do readings together. That's where the whole pilgrimage idea came along.
No, man, think about this. Place on this isthmus of a middle state, a being darkly wise and rudely great. What do you think that means, man?
I don't know. That's why you're here.
Oh, come on, man. It's like what Morrison said of Riders on the Storm, right? We're thrown into this world, and sure, it's great and wise, but we humans are unnatural, right? We're caught somewhere between beast and God, man. And but we must have a purpose.
The next 4 lines are about the very same topic, man. With too much knowledge for the skeptic's side, with too much weakness for the stoic's pride.
He hangs between in doubt to act or rest, in doubt to deem himself to God or beast. That's deep, man.
It's right here in black and white. Humans, we have too much knowledge to be considered a beast. I wouldn't group us in with a mouse or dog or any animal for that sort. But then Pope goes to say on that we don't have enough strength to be considered God. We're too weak. We hang between this question. Do we want to know?
Caught between God and beast? Which is better? Now that's a question.
It doesn't matter, man. The Pope just goes on to say we exist just only to die. There's gotta be a bigger meaning to it all, though.
Well, alike in ignorance, his reason's such, whether he thinks too little or too much. Sure we got knowledge, man, more greater than the beast even, but we're ignorant to the ways of God. In the second part he says he, and I think he's actually not talking about God, he's talking about man. We think on this.
We think on what, Bobby?
We think on our own significance, man. We either think too little or too much of ourselves, man. What would you rather be? Too insignificant or too significant?
I don't know.
Me neither.
These next two lines got me thinking, man.
This whole thing's got me thinking.
Look at this. Chaos of thought and passion, all confused, still by himself, abused or disabused.
Well, maybe the chaos of thought and passion is the battle the man fights within himself between these things. Maybe man's fighting between the knowledge and the other instincts.
Well, yeah, that's clear, but I'm just stuck on the abused or disabused line.
Well, maybe it's even with the knowledge all men have, they're still being abused and disabused.
I'm not so sure about that.
That'll take some looking into.
He ends it with a bending note, saying half to rise and half to fall. I think he's saying that God created half of us to be rich and successful, and the other half to be poor and weak.
Or is he saying that half of our lives are spent growing and strong, but the other half we're dying and weak?
I don't know, it's all confusing, man. Great Lord of all things, yet prey to all. Is God the prey to all? Is all the humans searching for God and that's why he's the prey? Or are humans the prey to everything that's greater than them?
Sole judge of truth, and then this error hurl, the glory, jest, and riddle of the world? Sole judge of truth, we know the truth, but we're in endless error. Sin?
In death, we're taken away from our glory, and we still don't know the explanation of the world.
It's perfect. It's just too bad nobody else has heard it.
Yeah, it is.
Freaking Dylan. Encouraging John.
Encouraging John to do what?
Pitch an album.
Gentlemen, I stand before you today as I've done many times in the past, to pitch an album. This will be unlike anything I've ever done before. It will still be a rock and roll album, and it will still sell. The kicker is, I will not be writing. That task goes to Alexander Pope.
Oh, I've never heard of him.
Exactly. He was a poet long ago. One of his poems has caught my attention. Essay on Man. I want to take this essay and turn it into a rock and roll album. It will be about mankind and our purpose. It will be about our relationship with God. It will be about our unnatural state.
This all sounds great and all, but will the album sell?
I told you it would.
I have to take your word on it?
Yes, people need to hear this.
Alright, I'll take your word. Now go on telling me about the themes.
Themes?
Yeah, what the author is saying.
I don't know.
Well, that's no big deal. As long as you can write a great rock album that sells, we won't have a problem. I'll have to talk it over with my partners, but we'll get back to you soon.
Okay.
He went into the meeting ecstatic, when he came out. Looked different. I remember Joel telling me he had to find the theme. He was unable to do the album without the theme. That week was hard on him, The week the producers were deciding. He put himself through a lot, I felt for him. And then the final meeting came. We discussed your idea thoroughly. We looked at the pros and the cons and you yourself as an artist. The conclusion we came to is that poets just aren't rock and roll. We can't produce this album, but we still would like to work with you in the future.
No. Thank you for your time.
Are you thoroughly ready for what comes next?
How can I not be with everything we've discussed?
Okay, I just want to clarify that this album meant a lot to John. He was truly heartbroken.
December 3rd, 1977. Now there's a day to mark your calendars. Should be a national holiday for all I'm concerned.
What's so important about that one day? Out of all 365, what happened on that specific day?
You see, that's the day John Howell died.
John!
They don't know nothing. People need to hear this.
I know, John.
They're a bunch of corporate zealots and they don't know real music. They don't know real art.
I think you need to sit down.
This is real art. It's about being lost, not knowing your purpose in existence. And people need to be talking about it.
I know, but they're not going to produce it and neither will I. This is stupid.
People are going to hear this. Nolan and myself presume not God to scan the proper study of mankind is man, raised on the infamous and middle state of being daily wise and brutally great, with too much knowledge for a skeptic's eye, with too much weakness for a stoic's pride. He hangs between in doubt to act or rest, in doubt to deem himself a god or beast, in doubt in his mind or body to prefer, born but to die and reasoning but to err, like in ignorance of reason such, whether he thinks too little or too much, chaos of thought and passion all confused, still by himself abused or disabused.
There truly is no other downfall greater than this. Shakespeare himself couldn't have written it better than this. The Tragedy of John Howell. Rock Star's Farewell.
Created half to rise and half to fall, great Lord of all things, yet pray to all. Sole judge of truth, in endless error hurled, the glory jest and riddle of the world. How could I have been so foolish? I can see now. I had been so focused on my purpose. I was searching for something unattainable. What Alexander Pope is saying, the theme of the poem, is not to worry about our purpose. We may be ignorant to the ways of God, but He has a plan for all of us.